Hi, and welcome to our needle felting question and answer panel. We have artists today, Zilka Zordel. We have Belinda Slade. We have Peggy McChesney. And we are going to open up our panel for questions. So does anyone, sorry again, I'd like to give the artists a few minutes to tell a little bit about themselves. So Zilka, we'll start with you.
Okay, yeah, I'm from Germany, born and raised, and we moved to Illinois a while ago. And I live on a farm with a few animals, sheep, cashmere goats, and I work with their fiber for my dolls. And I really like to create old people, happy old people. My people, they live under the earth, and this is the reason I really like them dressed in natural colors. And yeah, that's all.
Okay. Belinda?
Okay, I'm Belinda Slate, and I'm from Trinity, North Carolina, and I do some needle felting, and I've taken lots of needle felting classes, and I just love it. Dolls are great. It's not so easy to do, but it's fun to learn.
Yeah, that's true.
And Peggy?
Hi, I'm Peggy McChesney, and I actually live in Wisconsin, not far from Zilka, I should say. And I've been doing some needle felting more for accessories for my dolls. So I don't actually make dolls. I've made dogs. I make little accessories like this, or this little one here that they're holding. And that's what I do for needle felting. I love it because it gives me an opportunity to work in some other kind of medium. And using needles is wonderful for stress relief. So that's why I use it.
Okay, so now we will open the panel up for questions. So does anyone have any questions for the artists?
I do have a question, and I would like to make animals as Peggy. I have made some polymer clay head of a fox, and I would like to add the body, but I don't want to, I want to make sure I'm not going to be, because it has an armature, I don't want to be punching in the armature. So I guess we have to involve it with a kind of fabric or something. Could you explain us more or less how can you do that?
For me, I use pipes. Like this one right here, you can see it's, and then, so then it grabs onto it when I needle felt it.
Okay, so no wire.
Pipe cleaners, yeah.
No wire armature. Okay.
Well, it's a pipe. There's a wire inside there, but because of the fabric around this, it grabs on. So this goes up all the way into the head, and then I needle felt onto it. You'll still hit the wire once in a while, but it works well.
Okay. Yeah, you can poke from the side instead of straight.
Oh, okay.
That's from the side, yeah. And I use the same stuff, but I have different wire. I use this fabric covered wire, and then I wrap the what was the name, Peggy?
Pipe cleaners.
Yeah, the pipe cleaners around it, and then the wool. So to make sure I don't break so many needles, and then you don't have a straight poke from the side. It works very well. So, and use a fine needle. Don't use a big needle. Use a fine needle. Then you don't have so many problems.
So fine needle for the beginning, for the base. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. You can use a bigger needle later because it's, you know, and if you wrap it very firm from the beginning and you poke it in very thin layers, you don't have to worry about it, that everything underneath will be soft. So start with a thin layer, poke it, and the next layer, poke it again until you are done. This is how I do the body, the same way. Okay. But because I really like my dolls or everything very firm felted. So
what gauge needles do you use?
I use twisted needles, 38 and 42, and sometimes 46. I have 46 too, but they bend very easy because my heads are so firm, and when I poke in, you know,
Mhm.
and they're gone.
You think the twisted needles do better?
For me, yes, but you know, it's everyone has a different opinion on stuff like this. So, but I really like them.
Where
Good.
do you find them?
Oh, yeah, on Etsy, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
I've seen them. I've just never used the twisted one. So I may just buy some and see how they work.
yeah, they work fine for me, but just try it.
So I would assume since they're twisted, they're a little more sturdy. They don't break as much.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, but they get, for me, they go easier in and they make less holes. But it depends on the wool. I think on the wool too. I use Icelandic. Icelandic is a coarse wool, so might be different when you use merino or other kind of wool. I don't know.
Yeah, that was my question. What kind of wool does each of you use and what do you prefer? So
Yeah, I like Icelandic because I have sheep and I really
Yeah.
like the sheep, so they're fun. But I should say that I choose my sheep for needle felting, so they are not soft. You can get very soft Icelandic, so it will be like a never-ending story to poke it. But my sheep are, yeah, I got
So
them from a farm.
So you would prefer a harder,
Yes,
coarser wool
yes. Mhm.
than the
Yeah.
softer
The best,
wool?
for me, it's the best wool. It should be short and coarse. So
Okay.
that's great. You can use textile too. I don't know if you have any textile around, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I tend to use a variety of different wools, just depending on what's available from,
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't even tell you what the brands are. I tend to buy my wool from Serafina Fibers. So she's got some real good wool.
Yeah.
I have tried a little bit of yours and I really like it too, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the skin tone, I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Icelandic too, but I find merino is hard to felt.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't use it very much unless it's just exactly what I'm looking for. But I think it's hard to felt.
Yeah. I use only merino for the clothes. So
Yeah.
it felts them, that's all, not to needle felt anything.
Yeah.
So I have some here, but because we have a farm close by and she's raising merino sheep and I have wool from her. And I brought it to the fiber mill and she made some very nice pre-felted, so I can use it too but for needle felting alone, I think it's too soft for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend, she loved it, so it's all.
And it's all that matters.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
And I think it's what you are going to do. I think you can, maybe it doesn't matter when you do animals, you can use different kind of wool because you need the color and the everything. So you have to poke more. I have no idea. I'm not good with animals, so I
Do
rather
you,
like dogs.
do any of you wet felt, or can you kind of explain the difference between wet felting and regular dry, I guess, dry felting or whatever
Needle
you would call it?
Needle.
Yeah. Needle, yeah. Yeah, for wet felting you need hot water and soap, and you roll this after you laid it out in very thin layers. And it's a different, yeah, you can do vessels, bowls, a skirt, a dress, whatever, purses, pictures for the wall, everything. You can do everything with it. And it's faster than needle felting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you have to set up much more stuff. So for needle felting, you only need a needle and wool, that's all. But for wet felting, also.
Okay.
Zilke has she has a great thing on the presentation on wet fitting the outfit. It was really cool. I enjoyed
Yes, it
watching
was.
And it's easy, you see, it's always like, you only have to know how you can do it, and that's all.
I have to watch that. I have not watched it yet.
It's
I'm-
cool.
Yeah, you can use it for your dolls too, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to try it and make an outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting how you made it smaller. You added more layers, but then as you rolled it, it kind of like shrunk up.
Yeah, it shrinks a lot. You can make it very firm, so it's almost stiff. But merino wool it's a soft wool. If I would do this with Icelandic, it can stand alone, the whole jacket. So
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it depends all on the wool and the
Okay.
needle. I think that's very important to have the right needles too, that you like it. You know, it's a different.
I was gonna
interesting.
mention even the needles too. I don't know about the two of you, but I like using a single needle. I've
Yeah,
never
me
used
too.
a tool with multiple.
I'll see, now I'm different. I like the tools with 2 needles in it. So I'm impatient. I want to see it done faster.
Can you show us the tools that you're talking about that hold
I
in?
actually use a combination. Like if I need something done quick, I'll use the one that has multiple needles.
Mhm.
And then once I get into the details and stuff, that's when I use the single.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't
And
use a
these are
tool,
just
just
little,
the needle.
Yeah.
me too. I just want single needle all the time because I can use 2 when I do the body to attach the limbs to the body, then because it's faster then. But no,
It must be downstairs.
I have a sewing, well, it's not a sewing machine. It's called the embellisher. And the
Mhm.
reason why I had that was so that I could, it's actually needle felting, but it's got 8 needles in it and you run it like a sewing machine,
Yeah.
but you can felt like different fabrics together or put the wool on the fabric or
Hmm.
same concept.
yeah,
Here's the tool that I use. It's the one, and I usually, this one will hold 3 tools, but I only put 2 in it. So it's a, I just rather, like I said, I'm impatient.
How many needles? I mean, do you break needles a lot or?
I break them, but not often. No,
I don't.
no.
See, I'm too impatient. I break them.
Well, you're felting too hard or you're going in at the wrong angle.
I know, but this is new to me. Plus, yeah, I'm impatient. I'm trying to get something done because I'm in a rush.
I think that's what happened to me. I tried it one time a few years ago and I think I broke all of the needles off. But so are you saying it takes a gentler touch then? Not that, because I don't know, for some reason I thought when you're felting you have to really get in there and like stab it to death, but
I think for me, it's the angle.
Yeah.
I've broken a few, but it's the angle you're coming in. And if you come in at a wrong angle, you can bend it and break it.
Yeah,
The problem I have with the needles is unless I put some hot glue or something on the top of them, it hurts my fingers. That's why I use the tools so much.
Oh,
And here's one where I've taken wax and put it on the top of it to cover up the little hook. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You can do this with polymer clay too. I did it,
Yeah.
but I don't like it. I have problems then to feel.
Yeah.
I
You
can
lose
better have.
your touch when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I work very hard from the beginning, so I don't have to poke very deep. So I don't have to, and if I wouldn't use 2 needles, I couldn't get inside the wool anymore because it's so
Yeah.
firm already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is why I really use a single needle, and 42 it's great then because it's not so hard.
Mhm.
I rather poke a little bit more than.
Gotcha.
so
Yeah.
the trick is to get the core nice and hard
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, then you don't have to poke so deep, Debbie. It's just a few millimeters and then you are in. So
I struggle with the finish on that top and getting that smooth enough. And that's not being patient enough to keep doing it long enough, I think.
yeah, but if you do the little ones, you can wet felt them too. After you needle felted stuff, you can wet felt them. Just dip it in hot water and rub it between your fingers and just a little bit.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And it's fast.
And Belinda, I think you do what you call a skin.
Yeah. This is one that I'd started and it was needle felted, and then I
Mhm.
lay a real thin
I
layer of
love that.
felt over it, and put it in hot water, like she said, hot and cold water. And this one's been thrown on the floor a half a dozen times trying to get it hard because I don't have the strength in my hands to really to make it. But you can't tell this one has been felted. It's very it's hard.
Oh, wow.
Hold it
That
up a
is
little bit.
gorgeous.
I love that.
We'll see if I ever get the body made.
Hold it up a little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got to do the eyes and that's it. And I don't like his ears, so his ears are probably going to come off.
And
And-
how do you put eyes in once you got it felted?
Okay, these have got holes for the eyes. I don't know if you can see it. but
Okay.
there's
Mm.
see my finger is sticking in there.
Oh, okay.
I can either felt the eyes in or I'm going to use glass eyes with this one.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah,
Just glue it.
just glue it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be a nice class.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. How you did the skin and
yeah, it's time consuming, I think.
Mhm.
Very, because it has to be really dry before you do anything else to it. I mean, it can't, I think, I don't do a lot of wet felting because I think it takes a long time to dry, and maybe I don't leave it there long enough or roll it enough to get enough of the water out. I don't know. That's why I liked her thing on the outfit. I'm going to try it.
Right.
I put my stuff in the oven to get it dry, so
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but I could do that.
don't
Yeah.
make it too hot, but yeah.
Yeah,
does that shrink it at all?
yeah,
Sophie?
yeah.
The rolling shrinks it, not the
Yeah.
not the oven.
Oh, the rolling. Okay.
And this one where it was soaking wet at first, and I tended to, like I said, throw it on the floor to get it. My husband, Rick thinks I'm crazy, but I'll throw it on the floor to just
Compact it.
to help pack it, and then you roll it. It's takes some time.
Yeah, but I like it. I like this on
Yeah.
felting because I really like to do faces, and I really like to spend hours and hours on it. Not so much on the body, but the face is always great.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. I love your faces. I wished I could do them. Maybe someday I'll come and visit. We'll see.
Yeah, why not?
So,
Yeah.
but how much wool does it take for you to do just a face?
Oh, I don't
Have
know.
you ever?
Yeah, because I do different sizes. One are smaller than others, but I think it may be 2 ounces, maybe.
Oh, okay.
About 2 ounces. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have
maybe.
thought it
Because
was
it's tough, I see, I have one, and I did this last time. I can do this again. It makes a sound. You see, everything is
Mhm.
firm.
Wow.
Oh, God.
How much would it take to do a whole body then?
And I know that I never, because it's the same. When I have a small doll, I'm fast with the body, but it takes me the same time to do the face.
Right.
So I need 7 hours more or less, most of the time more, because I can't stop. I always see something that I can do better. So it takes me 7, 8 hours at least to do a face, and then maybe 7 hours again to do the body and the dress and everything here. And I really like to dress them too. This is the face, and to dress them is the best. The body is not so really necessary.
Yeah, so
Boring.
you don't work on a lot of detail on the bodies because
No, I don't. I make the breast, and that's all. I don't make a gap between the butt and stuff like this. No, nobody can see it, and they have underwear, so
yeah.
nobody can see underneath them. But in my classes, I do stuff like this. I make all the human stuff on the body.
All the parts.
Some of them, yes, it's fun. Yeah.
So we covered needles and tools and the types of wool. Oh, this was one we mentioned before. Do you use felting pads?
No, yeah, only for the only when I do the eyelids for my dolls and the upper lip. The rest is all in my hand because I can work better when I have everything close to me. So.
And how about you, Peggy?
Yeah, I sometimes use the pad to get things started, but then once I'm actually working on it, then I just hold it in my hand and use the needle.
Can you show us that felting pad again? Do you have a felting?
Oh, well, there's a bunch of different ones. Like, yeah, this one's foam. This
So you
one
can-
has rice.
So
So
you can pretty much use anything that's kind of got a soft,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I don't use it a lot. It's just for the
no,
eyelids.
we don't have the other. So you guys don't worry about putting little things on your fingers or anything like that.
No.
You guys are the pros. See, I even stab myself through the protectors. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't have to poke so.
I know, but I think I'm getting my, stress out.
Yeah, unless you
Yeah.
really want to, you're.
Yeah, then better make a flat picture.
I need to get my stress out and then needle felt is what you're
Okay,
saying.
yeah.
I don't know. After I poked myself a couple times, I figured out how not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess it's taken me a time to learn.
I still poke myself on occasion.
But it's not a drama anymore. It's like, oh, I poke myself and you go further, don't care about it.
Yeah, it's like, is there any blood? Let's get it off. It's getting
Oh,
feel
yeah.
good
Oh,
for
yeah.
blood.
When I poke myself, it's time to quit for the day.
Oh, well, that wouldn't work for me. Yeah, I just keep going. I'm like,
Yep.
No, I like to take a break too between, because when I work on the faces and then, oh, it's so wonderful. I can use it. Next day I'm going to make the body, and then the next morning, oh no. And I have to redo a lot. So
Yeah. It's the same with sculpting.
yeah, I'm glad it is.
Should always come back with fresh eyes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I have a bag full of the balls or the heads that I've started, and I absolutely hated, but I didn't have the heart to throw them away, so they're all in a bag.
but you
Yeah,
could put
but-
them together in a frame, all the halfway done faces, and
Yeah,
make a creepy picture.
yeah, you could do that, sure.
I thought that'd be fun.
Okay. Any other questions for our artists? Anything that you're interested in or would like to try?
If you, I do have one other question. If you were coloring your piece, because I know Soka, you like the beige or the flesh color, but if you wanted to color a piece, what would you use, or what would you recommend using?
I use, I can show it because it's more from my daughter's stuff. When I did the green eyes and the blue eyes, I did this with a pastel. Is this right,
Oh.
pastel?
Yes. Yeah.
And I used a paintbrush, because if you put this right on the eyes, you have a big blue stripe and you don't need it there. So I still have it here. So I use this and I make it I start very, very little bit here and a little bit there before I make this. And for the cheeks and everything, I have a pen. It's like a crayon, or what it's called, from my son's school. Still 20 years old, still perfect.
Wow.
I actually took a class and took a long roving. I have a friend that's has a fiber shop, and she taught me how to dye the roving, and I dyed it all different bright colors. And now if I need a bright color, like, these colors on here, I just grab a section out of the roving and use that.
I do this too, yeah. I dye my wool too.
Yeah.
I dye the skin tone and everything, because I really like to use the wool from my own sheep, and I don't want to waste the whole fleece for one color, so I really make only the stuff that I need, except the skin tone, because this is, I do always a lot, at least one fleece.
Now, what
So
do you
you-
dye them with? Is there a certain brand?
Yeah, it's Dharma Trading. I use a house brand, Dharma Trading, and the colors are champagne and persimmon. I hope this is still right. Persimmon. Yeah, and I
Yep.
mix it because I have 2.5 white sheep. One is spotted, so it's only half. And both have different white tones. One is more off-white than the other, so I have to use more champagne for the one who's it's
Okay.
very white, and less when the other was already a little bit off-white. So to get.
And what was the name of that?
I'm
The
sorry.
Yeah.
name of the dye?
I'm Dharma Trading, the house brand. I use it. There are a lot of different dyes out there, but I really like it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
tested
can't
a
remember
lot
the
of
dye
stuff,
I
but-
use, but you can use any dye.
Yeah,
You could even use Kool-Aid, I heard.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, and
Can.
everything.
Could you seal it after it's painted, after it's brushed, with the color that you use? I mean,
Getting an echo.
Yeah.
I don't know why. If you seal it after you paint, like you do with other mediums.
Seal it.
Curiosity.
Yeah, you can spray it with hairspray if you want. Just a short spray over it. But
So like the old
usually-
school way of when you had to fix your drawings in art school.
Right, yeah,
Aqua.
hairspray.
Yeah,
Good old
It's true.
Aquanet.
Yep, good old
Right.
Aquanet. A lot less expensive. This was a cheap hairspray. I think they still sell it, but we would use that instead of buying the expensive fixative in art school. We would just get Aquanet.
Uh-huh.
That's a good
Sa-
trick.
Save our money for the supplies.
yeah, it's true.
True.
Okay, any other questions for today?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
I think this was very informative.
So
Very.
you're all going out and getting some needles and some wool, and you're going to start needle felting.
Oh
And
my
don't
gosh.
buy wool when you don't know what kind of sheep it is. So because you can waste your money on stuff that you really it's still to start soft, you can poke it for an hour and still won't work.
Just go get Zilka's wool.
No,
Yeah.
I don't sell wool, but you can get wool everywhere. So
Yeah, I get mine from Serafina. It's online.
Yeah.
She's got really
Yeah, I
good.
bought it from her too. Yeah.
yeah,
I have a friend that owns alpacas, maybe. But that's a softer wool though.
Yeah, I was
It
going to
takes
say.
ages to get it done. Yeah,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's better to
Yes.
use it, the wool.
yeah.
From,
I have alpacas too, but I don't use the wool for needle felting.
Mm,
okay, well, good to know. Good to know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that
wish I
leaves her
would, I
out
like-
then.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming and sharing your knowledge and everyone who joined us on to ask questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.